Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Avengers issue 25. And this was a good conclusion to the whole challenge of the Ghost Riders. And I'm intrigued to see what they do with Robbie, and hopefully we learn more of Blaze's plan, because it looks like this is kind of lining up with the Ghost Rider comic that was launched recently, and see how that kind of affects everything that's kind of going on with Blaze. So we start off and we see that Eli is pretty much gloating over Robbie and pretty much calling him the worst Ghost Rider ever. And Robbie's like, I'm taking that as a compliment because every Ghost Rider pretty much gets screwed, and uses his chains to pretty much rip off one of Eli's arms. And he pretty much, we see Blaze pretty much going on his own way, and we see this flying ship coming around with the Avengers and, of course, Cosmic Ghost Rider in tow. It's like, that'll work. That'll work. And we see that, like, Blade and Thor go after Blaze, and Blaze is like, I'm not a monster, to himself, pretty much, I'm doing this because I kind of need to. And he's pretty much doing the power show that he needs to in hell, pretty much calling himself a god. But you kind of understand you have to kind of play to your audience for what's going on. So we see that Blade and Thor kind of take it literally and are just kind of like going hambo on him. And we see that his like motorcycle's kind of messed up, but Blaze is able to take it and turn it into a flaming hammer. And that's pretty fucking awesome. I didn't think that was definitely a different kind of way to use Ghost Rider's power that I really hadn't seen before, and I hope that that kind of stays within the repertoire, because that's pretty fucking awesome and could come pretty fucking handy as he starts going after Thor, because Thor got him into a place that he pretty much put Mjolnir on him and be like, sit down. And then the ground kind of absorbed Blaze. He came back up and was like, yeah, I'm a gearhead. I know how to change this shit, and I got myself a hammer. I know how to swing it. And it's shit. But as he sees this, he sees that Robbie and them have kind of gotten picked up, and we see that, of course, T'Challa and Cap are kind of going in, and they're like, oh, well, this is pretty much how races down here are done in this kind of netherworld, and this is pretty much hell. And Cap's like, nah, one of the battles that I fought in 45, that was hell. This is another Tuesday. And T'Challa's like, never change, Steve. And he's like, I don't plan on to. I just love that whole exchange. It just really shows a nice banter back and forth between the team, and just two great characters. I mean, I love Cap, and I really like seeing him work together with T'Challa. I mean, we've seen him kind of do some kind of work with T'Challa in the Cap series, but I would kind of like at some point to see them team up for kind of a longer arc and see that kind of works out. But we see that Blaze is like, shit, and pretty much trying to figure out what to do. Of course, Carol kind of gives Robbie the lowdown of, it's an Asgardian ship. It's got Wakandan, like, vibranium engine pretty much going on, Stark rocket boosters and stuff. And he's like, wow, thank you guys. Pretty much like, yeah, we're the Avengers. We go through hell for each other. Should be on the flag. And pretty much get She-Hulk to unleash gamma energy to blast him up further. It's like, holy shit. Blaze, of course, is trying to use the rest of his kind of minions to kind of slow them down, wondering where Eli is. And then, of course, we get Cosmic Ghost Rider going like, oh yeah, this dude, he didn't like my pedestal too much, as he's carrying the severed head of the dead Celestial. I'm like, I kind of wanted to see that fight, because it would have been awesome. Frank as the Cosmic Ghost Rider really lends to an air of unpredictability in his fighting styles, and it's just always kind of interesting to see what he does. So I'm like, okay, we knew he was going to take off the head. I just kind of wanted to see how it happened. But that's not important, because the race is important. And he's like, shit. But they're trying to pretty much get down to it, and pretty much getting neck and neck. They've been kind of like stymied by everything that's going on. Blaze is kind of getting closer and closer to the Hell Throne. But, of course, Captain Marvel and the rest are trying to do stuff. Robbie's got to take the wheel, but he instead infuses his Ghost Rider powers into it and pretty much slams the ship into the Hell Throne. He's like, do you understand what you did? Because he's talking about like how he was going to be going after Mephisto. It's like, okay, Mephisto's playing some kind of game, and this was pretty much one of Blaze's trips and kind of tactics to try and get on a more even playing field, I believe. So it's like, okay, let's see how that would have went out. Because he also said that he would have raced Frank as well. It's like, okay, because if he had gotten like Frank's powers, Cosmic Ghost Rider's powers, that would have been real big. But of course, Robbie wins and says like, hey, Ghost Riders don't have to ride alone. Family keeps us sane and all that. Says, hey, looks like you need it too. Because Blaze has been dealing with a lot. He really needs to talk to some people about stuff. Communicate with this shit. Because people need to know what's going on with Mephisto. Especially Tony by the end of this issue. Really, Tony needs that stuff by the end of this issue. But, he's like, alright, well, you got the throne of hell. He's like, well, I abdicated because I don't fucking want it. And he's like, wait a minute, you're abdicating it, and you're not leaving me the power that I need, and I've lost, so pretty much it's going to be even harder for me to... Wow. Even calling him as, like, cruel as Eli. And then he's like, whatever. The worst thing you can do is leave me here. And then he gets sucked back into the ground. And we saw that Thor and the rest of them were trying to look throughout all of hell, but couldn't find him. But they found the Hell Charger, and evidently it's free of Eli's influence. They're going to get Hellstorm to, of course, figure out if that's correct. And then it's up to Robbie if he wants it. And we see him saying goodbye to his parents. Who are saying, hey, you're doing good, kid. Never change. Because he was doing it to save his brother. And then the rest of the Ghost Riders load him up and kind of take him away. I was like, that's cute and really awesome. Ghost Riders together. And we then flip and we see that Robbie is riding with Gabe. He's like, yeah, I was off. We're not going to school. We're going to go fast and everything. He's like, yeah, I think I'm sticking around in there. And I'm like, yes, if I was a part of a superhero team of the Avengers and they came to hell and saved me, I'd feel like I would be fitting in. I'd be like, yeah, I mean, there's shit that goes along with being an Avenger, but that's pretty cool. Especially with everybody that had done everything. It's like, yeah, okay. And that's where that one ends. And then we see that Stark is dealing with everything with the fossilized head and be like, this is fucking weird. Going deeper in the cave, trying to see what's going on. But then, of course, the energy kind of spikes and, like, this kind of phrase happens that has Mephisto in it. And he gets sucked into 1 million BC. And we see that, like, Stark is not doing well. Power outage pretty much for his armor. His repaired gauntlet's done. He's dealt with a winter that has led into an even worse winter. He's got to deal with saber-toothed tigers. And he's evidently been fighting the devil with ice and rocks. And that fucking sucks. But that sounds like an awesome story arc that I would definitely want to read. I'm like, Tony Stark, no armor, fights the devil with ice and rocks. Tune in next time on Dragon Ball Z. Definitely sounds pretty cool, and I can't wait to see that, especially with how the art was at the end. Seeing him kind of wrapped in kind of cloth, having kind of his breastplate still up, and like bearded and shaggy and everything. Only thing weird is what's going on is how this lines up timeline-wise of the Iron Man series, what's going on with the Iron Man 2020 kind of thing, because Tony is going to supposedly die. But I think with what Arno has been kind of like talking about in the Iron Man comics, we'll definitely have already got a built-in resurrection kind of thing for Tony eventually down the line. But that's my only kind of thing, but I'm like, I kind of want to see this. I can't wait. And it looks like the next issue is going to deal with kind of the million BC Star brand. So I was like, yay! Really loving Jason Aaron's run on this. I loved this challenge of the Ghost Riders and think it did a really good job of being just a good thing to showcase the Ghost Riders and do a fun little thing. And I can't wait to see where the next kind of story arcs go. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.